the podcast for the Treasure Coast. With breaking news.
The latest tech.
The only podcast on the Treasure Coast, that brings you breaking news, along with anything tech,
with edited reading or comment. Welcome to Treasure Coast's
real-time podcast.
James Powell, your host, and we appreciate those that have watched, those that are following us, and those that are keeping up to date with everything that we are doing. Okay, today I'm going to be bringing you some more news, some updated news on some things that are happening with the coronavirus, and I'm also going to be offering you a new way to sign up for our texting service. Many of you know that I am connected with my website is mine. We also have this channel that we're kind of converting with real-time news of the Treasure Coast, and we are trying to keep up to date. I'm looking at but we are trying to transition over to a few other channels such as DLive and Event Vault. We're having some technical things that I'm waiting on the setup. So, but we thank you for joining us today. What I'm going to ask you to do is we're going to be trying to really transition to a new way of doing this. We're going to be using Twitter, also Cloud Hub, and Parler. And I'm going to have to start tweeting and parlaying out and then sharing on Cloud Hub too. We will probably transition over. We'll still use Twitter a little bit, but we will probably go ahead and transition over to doing a lot of parlays. That's what's called for Parler. Parler is for kind of replacing Twitter, and Cloud Hub is kind of replacing Facebook. So it's for the more free, the free speech platforms. If you've known or been watching Twitter and Facebook have been really cracking down on. If you're a conservative, they don't want to hear you, but if you're liberal, they'll let you say whatever you want to. So that's enough of that. So all right, we're going to transition into our news. And we're going to be doing some news articles. Then we're going to be playing a direct audio from Dr. Fauci about face masks. Then we're going to go to our break, tell you a little bit about how you can support us. And just one thing, I'm not doing the normal sponsors. I'm just telling you a little bit about a new way of staying connected. And we're adding in a new tech segment. I'm going through some of the president's tweets. So hope you are looking forward to a good show. We'll see how long this lasts. I'm not sticking to a certain time period. I've always tried to do a 30 minute time period, but I've decided, whatever happens. But I'm going to just keep pumping these out, and we'll see where we get. And please subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. Make sure that you do that. So, all right. Thank you for joining us. And we will go on to our news. And let me go ahead and transition this. And but in our news article today, one of our news articles today, we are looking know what all is going on. This is a gentleman just a few nights ago that come through a higher end neighborhood. Originally started out is not what they're doing now. in great detail, but this gentleman right here, wife were standing out in front of their home, protecting their home. He's actually a lawyer in the St. Louis area. But let me go ahead and just read. But it's Mark McCloskey. He's a St. Louis, defended his property from Black Lives Matter. And if you watch the video, it really is troubling. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. When you stand up against them, they end up coming in and they end up really, really trying to take over your home, your business, whatever. So here is actually what he was on CNN, and it's sad, but Chris Cuomo he's an idiot. But here is what a guy stands in front of me, pulls out 2 loaded pistol magazines, snaps them in front of my face, and says, "You're next." If you were there, Chris, this is Mark McCloskey talking. If you were there, Chris, I think you'd feel like you had a right to defend yourself as well, McCloskey recounted. And of course, he says, absolutely, absolutely. Somebody takes out magazines, ammunition, and clicks it and makes a direct threat. I would feel threatened, 100%, Cuomo replied. So McCloskey responded, that's what happened to me. And so, the bottom line is he had the right, him and his wife had the right to protect their home. And what is happening? The liberal media is saying, no, you can't do that. In fact, a judge in the St. Louis area, in fact, I didn't bring it up. I should have brought the article up, but a judge is kind of standing up for the Black Lives Matter. And it's our country is going crazy. I'm telling you. They're allowing the wrong, saying they're right, and the right are wrong. But he says, look, I know you're going through a process with this. I welcome you to having counsel. If you were within your rights to do what you were doing, it should be judged as such. And he says, I wanted to talk to you about broader implications because it's just a horrible picture of what's going on in America right now. So to me, it's not about what's right and wrong in the court of law. Look at that. I mean, that's idiotic. It's what we have right and wrong about how we treat each other. Man, I'll tell you what, the CNN is just going to the dogs. So you can go ahead, and I did not put the link. I'll go ahead, and after I need to get back to putting the link. I said on the last episode I wasn't putting the link, but I want you to see these. Go to townhall.com. That's really what I want you to do. You see, this is what happens when people in the media jump the gun and make determinations about people in instances before all the facts come out. And it's crazy. And in fact, I saw that this McCloskey is actually a Democrat. So this kind of really brings in a new era and it's an eye-opening. And here, Cuomo, Trump retweeted the video of Mark McCloskey because he liked the image of white resistance to this Black Lives Matter movement. And then this is where McCloskey said, I'm glad you're a mind reader because no one else thinks you are. He's really calling out Cuomo, or Como, however you want to say it. So go ahead to Town Hall, read that article. It's really crazy. All right. The next article is the Theodore Roosevelt statue, an American post mortem. Did say, like Julius Caesar, his military victories spread away rival rulers. So these days, victors over headlines who rewrite history, the cancel culture, and that's actually where we are at. We are in the midst of the cancel culture. And with the cancel culture, they're trying to cancel all of what happened before and then trying to start all over. I am reminded that part of that several years ago, I was actually traveling in Germany, and I remember being in Berlin, and the tour guide philosophy is now in America. And not only is it the Black Lives Matter is about, of course, it's funded by George Soros and funded by the trying to change a major fight. And if you do not want to join on, you're going to get wrong. And whether you're liberal, conservative, stand up for America. That's the bottom line. That's really the bottom line. Okay, don't let the pandemic kill religious freedom. Look at this. This is New York Mayor Bill DeBlasio. He's an idiot. I'm starting to use that term a lot more. But he is really allowing the liberals to really take over. And his liberal mindset is crazy. So it was about a month ago after Bill DeBlasio personally led a police raid, get this, on a rabbi's funeral in Brooklyn, which he portrayed it as an intolerable threat in the era of COVID-19. New York's mayors visited the same borough to address tightly packed crowd of protesters who had gathered in response to George Floyd's death, far from ordering them to disperse. So do you see if you're a liberal, basically what he's saying is you're okay. And if you're a conservative, you cannot have a say. In fact, of course, many of you know I live here in Florida. Let me talk about that liberal mindset. They want to control you, and this is what is happening here in America. And de Blasio is really trying. He has made a mess of New York City, and he goes, de Blasio, to the Jewish community and all communities. Is this simple? The time for warnings have passed. I've instructed NYPD to proceed immediately to summons and even arrest those who gather in large groups. Come on. They allowed the protest and everything to go on. But when you want to get together, a religious gathering, you can't gather. You can't go to the beach. In fact, like I said, here locally in Florida, they shut down the beach through the July 4th weekend. Really? I'll tell you, we are having our rights overrode by the liberals, and it's time that we stand up. So de Blasio is really intruding on the rights of the people. I mean, it's crazy. All right. The next issue is new documents confirm Obama White House manipulated intel and lied about Benghazi. Really? Really? All right. The evolving assessment as new documents released to Judicial Watch now show was a plan to manipulate intelligence to get a political result. The plan, in other words, was to secure then President Obama's reelection through a preordained narrative, one which overrode the independence of the intelligence community and its actual investigations. In fact, the newly released records exposed the true intent of Susan Rice's lies with an email telling her that she was going on the shows in an effort to reinforce President Obama and portray the attack as being rooted in an internet video and not a failure of policy. So there again, we're getting proof that the Obama administration, although, I mean, very liberal, they just flat out lied. So, we are in a serious time. We are coming to a serious time in our country where if you do not stand up for your rights, we're going to lose our country. And we are in a serious time. Okay, let me go ahead, and I'm going to be playing the Dr. Fauci audio. Of course, we are in the midst of being forced to wear masks. Now, you can do what you want to, wear a mask all you want, but this old boy isn't going to wear a mask. I've drawn a line in the sand. In fact, tomorrow, where I live locally, they're supposed to vote. And of course, I got a hold of our local officials. I am not wearing a mask. I'm telling you, they're trying to override your rights. And you may think, well, what is the big deal about a mask? Well, there is a big deal. I am not going to that's my personal space. And they come in, they tell you everything to do, and now they're trying to get you ready where they make you wear the mask. And then this article I'm getting ready to talk about, an effort to ban cops from using tear gas against lawless protesters. And of course, it was crushed by the court. But look what they're trying to do. They're trying to defund the cops, override your civil rights, and then let them control everything. Compare this to how Hitler took over. I'm serious. We are in a fight like we've never been before. We need to be ready. You better lock and load, and I mean lock and load. I keep my 9mm. I've got magazines loaded. Not that I'm saying that we need to just go out and start shooting up, but if they come to me, I'm gonna respond. We live by the castle doctrine here in Florida, and I am going to protect my property, my family at all costs. And that being said, we do need to support the men behind the badge. There, 99.5% of them are good. So leftist effort to ban cops from using tear gas against lawless protesters. A preposterous lawsuit demanding cops be banned from using tear gas to disperse lawless protesters who block city streets and interfere with traffic has been struck down, thank goodness, by a judge who ruled this week that the restriction unnecessarily burdens the police and puts them and the public at risk. Thank goodness. The case was by a leftist civil rights group that claims the city of Richmond and its police department, as well as the state police, violated constitutional rights by law-breaking protesters by using tear gas and other crowd control tactics during a disruptive Black Lives Matter demonstration outside Richmond City Hall last week. And you think about this. They're going to the more liberal cities trying to get these laws passed. And what their philosophy is, they get the law passed in a liberal city, and then when they get to more conservative cities, a lot of judges go by precedent of other judges. So you see what they're trying to do? They're trying to take you down little by little. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the audio, and then we're going to be going to our sponsors. But we have an audio here of what Dr. Fauci, of course, he's a guru, supposedly. He keeps flip-flopping, but he's a guru on masks. So we're going to go ahead and play this and go ahead and listen to what he said May 10th, 2020, about the mask.
A lot of confusion among people and misinformation surrounding face masks. Can you discuss that?
The masks are important for someone who's infected to prevent them from infecting someone else. Now, when you see people and look at the films in China and South Korea, whatever, everybody's wearing a mask. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better. People think that it is. And often there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill. The people.
Okay, right there. He said the masks don't work. Thank you for watching. We're going to go to our sponsor. Something, we are in a crazy time, and you can go to jjmediaonline.net, jjmediaonline.net/emergency, jjmediaonline.net/emergency, and you can actually get your emergency supply. Of course, this is an affiliate of I'm an affiliate of Amazon, and you see it is the emergency food supply. It is a 15-day, or I'm sorry, 2-week, one person pound. You can get it. It's Augason food supply. So go ahead and click the link, jjmediaonline.net/emergency. Get your emergency food supply today. All right. Another thing I want to really talk to you about, and this is, when we switch over to not being able to, maybe there's a blackout. I keep hearing about that there is a blackout and coming on media. Sign up for our texting. You can go to jjmediaonline.net/texting, jjmediaonline.net/texting. And what you do, watch this video. It talks about it. Just sign up our texting service, and your business gets a chance to win a free video intro. And what will happen is you will put that in, and you will be redirected to a page where you can be entered here, and then you can select what video you want if you win. That's what video you want if you win. Put your name, phone number, including area code, a cell phone number. You click enter, and you get entered into the free drawing. All right, now our tech segment. I'm trying something new here. Donald J. Trump tweets. Donald J. Trump tweets. And it was showing my connection was unstable. Okay. Donald J. Trump. Here we go. NYC cutting police. Let me refresh this again just to make sure. His latest tweet: NYC is cutting police Avenue. All right, an hour ago, horrible BML chant: pigs in a blanket, frying like bacon. Wow. Crazy. All right, and a third one. Biden was asked questions at a so-called press conference yesterday where he read the answers from a teleprompter. And if you've seen that clip, it is hilarious. It's really hilarious. It was actually it was crazy, to be honest. The thing about it is, okay, I think I just lost. It's like I lost the okay. All right. For some reason it's not. Hold on a second here. Let me double check. Let's see if it pulls it over. It's like it's stuck. Oh well. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about. I'm going to go ahead and quit. I'm almost up to the 30. I'm going to skip the other text segment. Let's go to the verse of the day. O Lord my God, I take refuge in you, and